Hi, it's David in the stained glass studio. We're doing a repair in this door, and when we went to get the door, this was poked down as if somebody had pushed through it, and it was bent clear down. This piece had fallen out from there, and so what we did was we put a piece of styrofoam under here and laid it down, and that pushed it right back up. I don't know what it'll look like on the other side, but right now we're just working on this side. Now, this is not the way you should fix leaded glass, but we don't do leaded glass in our studio, so it's just the way that we can do it. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to show you how we're going to take this piece out. See, it's got some cracks in it. So the way we're going to get it out of here is I've got a pair of lead nippers. See how we sometimes break a piece? Okay, so I get this. This is how I'm going to chew all this lead away. I'm a lot better at this than when I started. What we're going to do is get all this part of the lead on this side off, then we'll replace it with copper foil, and we'll solder it over as good as we can. So I'll finish going around here. Then what I'm doing on these areas over here where I've already chipped it away, I've got a small wood chisel that lets me kind of bend the lead up out of the way. And then I've got a bigger one. Look here, I can just take this and get that off so it's nice and flat. And then I think it'll probably release the glass better for me. Got to get it some here. When you're actually doing a repair on a leaded window, you take the whole thing out and then take it apart. But I don't have lead, I only have solder, and so this is the only way that I have for doing it. So we're doing a leaded repair in a door in a copper foil studio. Alright, I'll come back in a little bit and show you more. Okay, so Jeannie has convinced me to take the wooden frame out and then pull the whole window out in order to do this repair, because as you can see, here's one of the original breaks, And then this one is an adjunct brake, and this one's one. So on each side of this piece, I've broken these two glasses. These two are originals. This one's broken. This one's broken. You see, so I've got a whole bunch more broken glass in here as I've gone along. Now I do have this piece removed. This one is cracked a little bit, but I'll be able to glue that back together as I get this off of here. Now I wanted to show you just how bad. What I did was I moved all the, on that first piece, I've got all these little broken pieces, and I'll be gluing them back together, and they'll look pretty good. You won't even be able to tell that they were ever broken, because the grain of the wood will fit in there just perfectly. Anyhow, that'll be it. Now I'm waiting to discuss this with a woodworker who may be able to advise me. I was thinking maybe I could take a piece of wood and put it along here and then drive that other wood off, but I'm just not sure. This is really becoming a problem. If I could go back and do it over again, I would have just said no, I can't do that repair, because it's been murder. And I've only got the one piece of glass. This piece right here has been removed, and of course, and I haven't even attempted to take this part out, because I've already decided that I'm gonna take it all apart and put it back together again. So we'll just keep you updated. I did find a piece of this hammered glass that will be perfect for a match for the pieces that we're going to replace. So anyhow, we're still going on with it, and it's taken week after week, and it's cold outside, and that poor lady, I feel so bad for her, but there's nothing I can do to make it faster except stay on track, do what I can. We're going to try and pull the the glass out, right, Craig?
Will it move? It's almost as if shouldn't we be looking at the silicone on the other side? Look at that. I have this and I can go with it.
Okay.
Where do you want me to put it though?
We're going to put it on the table
in the middle.
Little table in the shop. I'm going to have to put it on a piece of paper and trace it. Well, now that this is out of the door, I can start working on the repair. Over here on this side, I've already cut through this lead, and now I've got it flipped over so that I can cut through. See, I've got to get this one. Now I can flip this back over.
It's heavy.
And I got to line it back up with the, see, I have some lines here that I Now, you know, we discovered that some of these pieces are broken, and so now I've also discovered that if I pull back on this piece, I can sort of spread it open a little bit. So I'm thinking that if I pull back on it, I may be able to get enough expansion in here to get this piece. This part here I can see is cracked when this whole piece came out this direction from heat. And so I'm going to have to solder it right there, and there's a little crack spot here, you can't even see it. And then there's this piece where I have to solder this in. Now this piece here is one that got broken as we were taking the window out. Had to put a nail under here to get the thing to pop up so that it was all lined up evenly. Okay, now I'm working on this part right here of the window, and I've already got these two pieces not only removed, but I've also got the new pieces that are going to go in here cut, and I'm now getting this final piece, and so I'm cutting it carefully. If I had known that I could have done it this way earlier, I wouldn't have broken as many pieces, because using the chisel was just too much. Now, see, I'm cutting this here, and I should be able to then solder over that spot when I do the repair, you see. So this is all uncovered, and now I've got enough of it uncovered, and on these I was able to pull it up and get it out, so I'm pretty sure that I can get that out of there. And what I do here, see, I'm bending the lead back a little bit. I don't want to deform it too much. On this one, I'm not sure if it'll come out or if if it'll crack that piece at the end or not. Let's see if I can wiggle it out of there. we go. Come on. It's coming, but I don't know if it's... All right. It's the cement holding it in there tight. This has been a problem on every one of these pieces. There we go. Okay. Now I just have to cut this one and I can fit them in. Okay, I'm ready to put this piece now in here. You see it's got there's sort of a pattern that goes up and down, and so I'm trying to match it here. Now here we go. I've got it dropping down into here and here. And now I have to okay, it seems to be going down in there. This isn't quite. Okay, let's get that out of there. Let's see if I... Come on, there we are. Think. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'll put black backed foil across here and then solder it in place. That will hold. Okay, so now I'm ready for this piece. This piece is actually broken right here. But I think I need to trim that out a little bit more. Okay, I wanted to point this out to you. You see how this is nice and soldered in here like this? Well, look, it's actually not hooked to anything. And so what I'm going to have to do is, as I put the foil on, I'm going to solder it. First I'll tack it here, and then I'll run it along, and then I'm going to solder it, then I'll run it along and solder it so that each point along here I get some good tacked solder down here into the lead crevice. and then that way it'll stick and hold and it'll be strong. It'll also be stronger once I get it turned over and cemented, but that hasn't happened yet, and so we want it to be nice as we're going along. Here are the last pieces that I've put in. You know, here, this one, see, it's definitely tacked here and here, and so this piece of glass is held in securely. But I'm going to, you know, go over them again as we go along. So I'll get the iron fired up, and we'll get this side of it done. Now over here I've got 2 pieces of copper foil on here. One was just not quite wide enough to cover the gap, and so I've got 1 piece here and 1 piece here. I had to do the same thing on this piece here because it looked like it was slightly crooked, so I put an extra piece of foil along this edge, and that was to cover this up and also to give it that, but it still looks a little bit like it needs another one, so I may put another piece of copper foil right along this edge. But for now, what I want to do is show this. I'm going to place this guy back down. See how that dipped right back down in there? It was really nice. So now I have to go right along here, each place where, see, now the solder is melting down below and rising up to stick to the foil. And so I'm very happy with that. Now I'll go over to this piece here. Solder it in place. Ha 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 ha. Okay, now here I need to get some more foil on. But anyhow, that's what I'm going to do to finish up all of this, is exactly these kinds of techniques. I'm going to solder up. I'm going to go ahead and stick some of this black backed foil that I've got. Just so you can see how it's done. Okay, so here it is that you're flattening the lead because it's just not flat enough as it goes in.
Right. Just getting rid of these humps.
All right.
Well, this is the only one I could. It was really.
So when you do that, put the number in there. So right up to
Okay.
your marker on the glass.
And I would assume that basically we should really start with the ones that going against there, or does it
Not
matter?
necessarily.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I will look for some. Well,
So
hello.
sorry, I'm late.
No, you're fine. You're good.
Sorry, I did bring this.
That's great. You'll need it.
Yeah, it's
Okay, and you don't have any projects out here, do you? No. Okay.
It was the stars, that's what.
Okay, well, I'll find you the star
Where's that?
pattern
Oh,
and
okay.
just look here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
If you don't,